Hello and welcome. You're watching ADTV. I'm Vedant Agarwal. Our big focus at this hour, well, a resounding mandate for the India bloc in the crucial by-polls. The India bloc won 10 out of the 13 seats and the BJP managed to. A truly magnificent victory in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu held on to his family bastion. Meanwhile, it's the regional satraps as well who continue to reign, including the DMK in Tamil Nadu and the TMC, which won all 4 seats in West Bengal as well. In Bihar, it was an independent who actually won in a JDU bastion. Here's a report. 13 seats, 7 states and a resounding mandate for the opposition. A re-energized India bloc managed to win 10 seats out of the 13 constituencies that voted in the crucial by-polls, and the BJP managed 2 in a mini-referendum ahead of the state elections. Man of the moment, Himachal Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, on the back foot after the Rajya Sabha jolt, held on to his family bastion. In her poll debut, Sukhu's wife emerged a giant slayer with a winning margin of nearly 10,000 votes.
ये जनता की जीत है। जिस प्रकार का राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र जनता की सरकार को गिराने के लिए किया गया, 16 महीने से हमने जनता के हित में कार्य किए और जिस प्रकार की राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र का जवाब हिमाचल की जनता ने दिया है वो आपके सामने है।
The BJP meanwhile won the Hamirpur seat, a stronghold of the Dhumal Thakur family. In the neighbouring hill state, a Congress comeback with an unexpected win in the high-profile Badrinath and Mangalore seats.
मंगलौर में काफ़ी फाइट थी क्योंकि वहाँ बसपा का कैंडिडेट भी था, बीजेपी का कैंडिडेट भी था और कांग्रेस का भी था। बहुत क्लोज फाइट में 422 वोटों से कांग्रेस का प्रत्याशी जीता है।
After the Ayodhya loss, the Badrinath defeat may require the BJP to rethink its strategy in temple towns.
ये एक ट्रेंड है जो लोकसभा चुनाव से शुरू हुआ और अब आगे बढ़ रहा है। आने वाले जितने भी चुनाव होंगे लगभग भारतीय जनता पार्टी हारती चली जाएगी। ये हार का एक ट्रेंड शुरू हुआ है। 14 में हमारे लिए शुरू हुआ था, हमने देखा उसके बाद हम कई चुनाव हारे। अब वही हाल, उससे भी बुरा हाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी का होने वाला है।
कम से कम इन चुनाव के नतीजों के बाद ऐसा लगता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की आस्था भगवान में बढ़ रही है, क्योंकि भगवान राम का भी नाम ले रहे हैं, भगवान शिव का भी नाम ले रहे हैं। संसद में राहुल गांधी जी तो भगवान शिव की तस्वीर को भी लेकर आए।
In Punjab, the silver lining for a beleaguered Aam Aadmi Party after the Lok Sabha rout.
It's a big boost to Aam Aadmi Party because in Lok Sabha elections we have seen Aam Aadmi Party was not able to perform as per their expectations. Now this time in this by-poll elections we have seen they have won this by-poll in Jalandhar and with a huge margin.
Nearly 2,000 kilometers away in West Bengal, another precarious India bloc ally, the TMC, riding high on its Lok Sabha landslide, swept all 4 seats.
4টে সিটের মধ্যে 3টে সিট ছিল বিজেপি, লোকসভাতেও ছিল, বিধানসভাতেও ছিল। সেটা তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস জিতেছে আর আমাদের সিটটা আমরা জিতেছি, অর্থাৎ আউট অফ 4. The trend is very clear. Even earlier mandate also, it is not in favor of NDA, it is favor of India.
After their dramatic Lok Sabha return, regional satraps continue to reign across states. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK won the Vikravandi by-poll with a margin of nearly 70,000 votes, rare for a by-poll.
Key opposition in Tamil Nadu, the AIADMK boycotted this by-poll, alleging misuse of official machinery by the ruling DMK, which the ruling party had denied.
In a vibrant picture of a thriving democracy, while an independent candidate wallowed in the muddy aftermath of his Jalandhar loss, another celebrated his surprise victory in the JDU bastion.
Remember, it's a big blow not only for NDA but also for India Alliance, because both the alliance leaders had actually thrown their weight around. They were there with full force, full might.
As political alliances take shape,
new power centers emerge and allies take guard, the bipoles have set the tone for the crucial state elections later this year. Bureau Report, NDTV.
So, well, truly an interesting mandate there in the bipoles. But moving now to the big flashpoint between the government and the opposition. Well, it's a battle of narratives between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi. The Prime Minister today at a Mumbai event said that the opposition is creating false narratives around issues of unemployment, and the people in the opposition are actually enemies of India's growth. Take a look.
ये झूठे नैरेटिव वाले निवेश के दुश्मन हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर निर्माण के दुश्मन हैं, भारत के विकास के दुश्मन हैं। इनकी हर नीति युवाओं से विश्वासघात और रोजगार को रोकने वाली है, और अब इनकी पोल खुल रही है। भारत की समझदार जनता इनके हर झूठ, हर प्रपंच को नकार रही है।
It was a crucial visit of the Prime Minister's to Mumbai. Remember, he inaugurated development infrastructure projects worth over 29,000 crore rupees. He also inaugurated a secretariat building of the Indian Newspaper Society. He said the role of newspapers is actually key when it comes to the development journey of the country. Take a look.
इन 25 वर्षों में भारत विकसित बने, इसके लिए पत्र पत्रिकाओं की भूमिका भी उतनी ही बड़ी है। विदेशों में राष्ट्र की छवि का प्रभाव सीधे उसकी इकोनॉमी और ग्रोथ पर पड़ता है। भारत भी वैश्विक प्रगति में कहीं ज्यादा योगदान दे पा रहा है। मैं तो चाहूंगा कि जितनी भी यूएन लैंग्वेजेज है उनमें भी आपके पब्लिकेशंस का विस्तार हो।
And look at the other big headline at this hour. Well, the centre has widened the scope of administrative powers as far as the Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor is concerned. The opposition says the government in Jammu and Kashmir has been reduced to a rubber stamp government. The LG can now rule over matters relating to the police, the prisons and also the bureaucracy. Take a look.
Ahead of the assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir, Centre has amended Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Act 2019, giving sweeping powers to the Lieutenant Governor in the Union Territory. It's exactly like Delhi Union Territory model where elected government has little authority over bureaucracy and all the powers are vested with the Lieutenant Governor. The opposition has strongly reacted to the Centre's fresh move.
दिल्ली वाला मॉडल आप जम्मू कश्मीर में ला रहे हैं। आप एलजी को मुख्यमंत्री से ज्यादा मजबूती दे रहे हैं। क्यों दे रहे हैं? क्या आपको मालूम है आप चुनाव हारने वाले हैं? तो अब आपको कंट्रोल कैसे करना है जम्मू कश्मीर की प्रशासन को और सरकार को, वो तरीका अख्तियार कर रहे हैं।
President Draupadi Murmu has given her approval to the amendments, which gives authority to Lieutenant Governor over police, law and order, prisons, besides transfer of all the bureaucrats. The elected government has literally no say in these matters. Former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has said that amendment is aimed at making elected government a rubber stamp.
आपने सब कुछ उससे छीन लिया, आज आप उसको म्युनिसिपैलिटी में कन्वर्ट करना चाहते हो ताकि कल को जो भी सरकार जम्मू कश्मीर में बनती है, बीजेपी की तो कतई नहीं बनेगी, तो उस सरकार के पास कोई इख्तियार ना हो, अपना कोई मुलाजिम ना ट्रांसफर कर सके।
The BJP has said that amendments are meant to empower Lieutenant Governor to run the administration ahead of elections in Jammu and Kashmir.
इलेक्शन की जो कार्रवाई है वो ठीक प्रकार से हो तो स्वाभाविक बात है कि इस प्रकार से चेंजेस होना जरूरी रहती हैं। तो उसी के मद्देनज़र मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स ने इस चीज़ को किया है। तो आने वाले समय में ठीक प्रकार से यहाँ पर फेयर इलेक्शन हो पाए।
Even before elections are held in Jammu and Kashmir, the amendment in Jammu and Kashmir Organization Rules has given sweeping powers to Lieutenant Governor on key matters of administration. While BJP has defended the move, opposition has strongly reacted. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge termed it as Samvidhan Hatya Divas. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, NDTV.
Why did the government decide to do this? Well, my colleague Aishwarya Jain joins us with the latest. So, Aishwarya, what are sources telling you? Because the government seems to suggest that this does not hamper the balance of powers.
Well, certainly what has been said since morning is that it is the Ministry of Home Affairs who had amended the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, but the Home Ministry had come out with a clarification that as an amendment over the transition of business rules for Jammu and Kashmir that raised a major political controversy. It is that the notification is not amended to the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, and it is just regarding the transition of business rules, which is not amendment to the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019. There had been clarification from the MHA that it was wrongly reported. It has an amendment to the Act. It is simple amendment to the transaction rules, rather amendment to the Act which are issued to avoid any ambiguities. That's what the Home Ministry also clarified. It was also stated that the said Act had been passed by the Parliament in August 2019 and the same has been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court of India as well, and therefore the reason perhaps as per Section 32 of the Act, it was stated that state lists except the police and public order of the concurrent list in the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India will be there, and certainly this will also streamline the entire process in Jammu and Kashmir region, and therefore the reason perhaps that step has been taken. But very importantly, one major clarification that it is just a notification, not to amendment of the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019.
Aishwarya, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. So the Home Ministry clarifying after that huge political standoff. But moving now to the other big headline, well, a top Delhi school shamed students after their parents failed to pay the fees after an unprecedented hike. Now remember, there's a brazen defiance of the Delhi government's rules as far as the fee hike is concerned. What DPS Dwarka says is that this was a proposal to the Department of Education, but the Education Department says that the proposal was rejected. The parents, of course, protested, but absolutely insensitive there that those students were named and shamed. In fact, that list of students or defaulters, as they were called, was actually put up on the school website as well. And now a special ground report on the Madhya Pradesh School Chale Hum initiative. Well, is it a march to nowhere? Because government schools are in bad shape. There's a shortage of teachers. In fact, when the NDTV team landed up at the spot and to do a reality check of all these schools, we found those schools in complete shambles. Take a look.
At Tamarhai Middle School in Jabalpur, the roof collapsed during lunch on Friday, narrowly avoiding a disaster. In Bhopal, a similar incident at Shahjahanabad School injured 2 children and a teacher in December 2023. At Roshanpura, located just 3 kilometers from the ministry, one room with 5 blackboards houses everyone from class 1 to class 5th. The room also contains the kitchen for the midday meal.
क्या बोलें आप बताएं, आप खुद देख रहे हैं ये चीज़ें होती है परेशानी, ऐसा नहीं होती है परेशानी, पर ये रहता है जब हम पढ़ा रहे हैं तो दूसरी टीचर अपना रिटर्न वर्क बच्चों से करा लेती है, जब वो पढ़ा रही है तो हम रिटर्न वर्क कर लेते हैं।
सब बिठाना पड़ता है, फिर बच्चों को कैसे संभालेंगे? नहीं बिठाएंगे।
कमरे में लग रहा है कैसे एक कमरे में लग रहा है तो कुछ ना कुछ व्यवस्था हमें करनी पड़ेंगी पढ़ाने के लिए बच्चों को।
In Jhota village of Agar Malwa district, about 200 kilometers from Bhopal, the secondary school building is in dire condition. The toilet is locked, taps and tube wells were installed for drinking water, but there is no water. 2 teachers manage 75 children. When NDTV reached, only one teacher, Jyoti Soni, was found running from one class to another. The walls of the dilapidated school building are cracking, the ground is sinking, and the children are afraid to sit. They fear snakes, rats, scorpions, and the roof falling down.
और वो ऐसे इनको काम देके उनको फिर उनको काम देके इनको बढ़ाना तो है।
यहाँ पे पानी टपकता है तो बैठने में दिक्कत आती है, इधर से भी पानी आता है। यहाँ पे पानी टपकता, खाना खाते तो उधर भी पानी आता और यहाँ पे पानी भर जाता, क्या बताए गिर जाए हमारे ऊपर। यहाँ पे खेत पूरी खेत सांप और ऐसे सांप और
The situation is same across the state. At Lalgram Primary School, one teacher teaches 80 students of 5 different classes in a single room. In Rajakhedi, the lack of basic facilities like tables, chairs and clean drinking water persist despite funds being allocated twice for building improvements. The Lone Girls High School in Agarmalwa operates in shifts due to insufficient space and practical exams are passed without students ever seeing a laboratory.
आपने कभी लेबोरेटरी देखी है इस स्कूल में?
नहीं देखी है सर, अभी तक कोई लेबोरेटरी नहीं है यहाँ पे और कोई प्रैक्टिकल भी नहीं होते हैं।
क्यों?
क्योंकि यहाँ पे लेब ही नहीं है। कंप्यूटर मैंने देखा है सर 11th में, पर उसमें कोई सर पढ़ाते नहीं है कि हम कंप्यूटर चलाएं, टाइपिंग करें।
और क्या चाहती है कंप्यूटर से?
सर उसमें सब चलाते हैं तो अच्छा लगता है।
In Guna district, the primary school of Kali Bhont has been under a thatched roof for 20 years. There are no tables, chairs or drinking water. The school shuts when it rains. The funds received for the building have lapsed twice. Returning to Bhopal, the Shahpura Government School has a broken boundary wall. The new one is still under construction. The toilets are too dirty to be shown and the classes are in poor condition. In the interim budget 2024-25, 13,000 crores was allocated for the school education department. By June, 398 crore lapsed without being utilized.
कई बार लैप्स भी होता है तो निर्धारित समयावधि हमारी प्राथमिकता होती है कि 100% उसका इस्तेमाल हो, लेकिन कई बार किन्हीं परिस्थितियों के कारण थोड़ा बहुत अगर परसेंटेज में बजट लैप्स होता है, मुझे लगता है वो हर साल एक इस तरह से चीज़ें आती रहती हैं सामने।
Despite significant budget allocations, execution remains lackluster. In 2023, funds were provided for repair of 7,189 schools, but the work remains unfinished. The funds and policies are in place, but the lack of sensitivity and administrative efficiency continues to fail the educational infrastructure in Madhya Pradesh. And this negligence directly impacts the quality of education and the future of students. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan, Ajay and Zafar Multani and Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
It's an absolutely sorry state of affairs there. But moving now to the other big headline, well, in the SpiceJet case, where a SpiceJet employee actually alleged sexual misconduct by CISF personnel, now she's come out and spoken to the media as well. Remember, she's out on bail. She was arrested earlier for this particular incident where she slapped an on-duty CISF Jawan. The CISF says that this was just a duty-bound officer doing his duty. Take a look at what she had to say.
रोज़ सुबह 4:30 बजे, मतलब रोज़ मैं वही काम करती हूँ। 11 तारीख की बात है, सुबह 4:30 बजे मैं अपना काम ही करी थी तो बोलता है सीधे सीधे कहाँ जा रही हो, गिरिराज सर जो थे, कहाँ जा रही हो, हमें भी अपना सेवा पानी का मौका दो। फिर मैंने कहा लेडीज़ कांस्टेबल को बुलाओ मेरे फ्रिस्किंग के लिए। तो कहता है एक मतलब फिर उसने वापस बात अपना हो गया कि एक रात रुकने का क्या लोगी, तुम मेरा कहा मान लो, तुम चैन मिलेगा तुम्हें, तुम्हारा काम जल्दी हो जाएगा ऐसे। तो फिर मैंने कहा मैं पुलिस कंप्लेन कर दूंगी। तो वो कहता है कि तुम मेरा तो कुछ बिगाड़ नहीं सकती हो, तुम जैसे बाजारू औरत मैंने बहुत देखा है, तुम्हारी नौकरी निकलवा दूंगा, तुम्हें भीख मांगने का हो जाएगा अगर तुम मेरा कहानी मानोगी।
With that, we'll step into a short break now, but news continues on the other side. Welcome back. 71 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a designated humanitarian area in an attack which Israel says targeted senior Hamas leaders. But absolutely tragic there, 71 Palestinians have been killed. Here's the report.
Sounds of misery in Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp. People pummeled by months of war. They have lost everything and their own survival hangs only on hope. Over 71 Palestinians have been killed in a fresh Israeli airstrike that hit a densely populated area of displaced people in the Al-Mawasi area of Khan Yunis in Gaza, said the health ministry in Gaza. The Israeli military had designated this area as a safe zone, urging Palestinians to seek shelter here. Now, the only shelter they have is under the rubble.
تعب سنين العمر 25 سنة بنشتغل عشان نعمل هالدار، نيجي نلاقي الدار في الأرض نازلة، 3 طوابق ما لقيناش، هتطلع تقدر تصور 3 طوابق في الأرض نازلة. تعب سنين العمر، لا ضل عمر ولا ضل مصاري ولا ضل أولاد ولا ضل حدا، كله في الشارع اليوم، هينا مرميين في الشارع زي ما انتم شايفين.
The Health Ministry statement said that 289 people were injured in the airstrike. An Israeli official claimed that senior Hamas leader Mohammed Deif was target of the attack and they have taken him out. Israel believes he was the chief architect of the October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. Israeli ground offensives and bombardments have so far killed more than 38,300 people in Gaza according to Hamas. Nukul Jashoria for NDTV.